Hi everybody, Bronx Knitter here. Today's blog post is titled Tour, Day 8. I thought a video would make it a little bit more interesting for the non-spinners. I'm sure they're tired of reading the posts about spinning. They may have no interest, so I'm not here to teach a lesson. I'm just going to show what I am doing. This year, for the Tour de Fleece, I had chosen to spin fibers that I've never spun before. And so that was not my intention when I purchased this fiber, but I have plenty of fibers that are new to me in my fiber cabinet. And I decided this year I would spin fibers that I had never spun before. And last year when I was at Rhinebeck, I stopped at a booth, Jenny Jump Farm, in Belvedere, New Jersey. They raise Jacob sheep, which is a rare breed. And I decided I would support the cause. I must have been supporting a whole lot of causes because I bought a whole lot of stuff at Rhinebeck. Anyway, that's off topic. I purchased this Jacob fiber, which came in a ball that looked like this. And what I did was, it was actually 8.2 ounces, so I weighed it and split it. And then when I split it, I realized that it was prepared and just wound in a ball together. So I decided to split them by color. And I decided that I would spin white, then black, then white, then gray, but try to hold some white back so that I would be able to have white at the beginning and white at the end, and then hopefully be able to Navajo ply. I am sorry to say that it may not happen, because as much as that's what I would like to see happen, there's no guarantees about my Navajo ply. So, the equipment that I'm using is a Kromsky Prelude. It was my first wheel. It'll be my forever wheel. I purchased so many attachments for it that I can never get rid of it. It is so beautiful. I love everything about it. And to make it even more adorable, it has a woolly winder. Normally the bobbin has hooks, and as one area of the spool becomes full, you switch it to another hook and another hook. With the woolly winder, you don't have to do that, because the woolly winder has gears. That's this thing. So when the wheel turns, the little hook goes up and down, and it puts the fiber on your wheel evenly and beautifully, and you get to spin uninterrupted. So now I'm spinning this Jacob fiber, which happens to remind me of Coopworth, except that it's a little bit softer. Coopworth was a little more wiry the one and only time I ever spun it, and I didn't like it, and I won't be spinning it again. And if you're wondering, this was yesterday's, I spun it up, I let it rest overnight, and today I plied it. I'll let it rest, and I'll give it a bath, and I'll hang it, let it dry, and then it'll be ready for its debut. That's some Shetland that I spun. After I plied it, I had this much left. So close to finishing that bobbin. I have more Shetland left because It was 8 ounces, but I only spun 4. So this is me spinning. Let me take my shoe off. It's a single treadle wheel that I'm using. Spinning. It has a very long staple. The whole trick to spinning is to try to draft out the same amount every time so that you get an even thread. And because I'm human, that doesn't always happen. Looks pretty okay, but there will be thick and thin spots. I'm hoping that the eyes of the people who see it will be distracted by the fact that it's 3 colors. Or maybe I'll spin them all separately and just make them a 3-ply yarn with 3 different colors of ply. This is the difference between fiber or fluff and yarn is the twist. Everything twisted is a ply of yarn. If it's not twisted, it's fluff. Now you know. I happen to very seriously love spinning long wools, and this Jacob is one. The Masham, I don't know how you say it. The first fiber I spun was also a long wool, and so was the Shetland. Very nice fibers, very easy to spin, very silky after it was spun. To the point where I actually thought that this fiber had some lanolin left in it. I don't know if that's true, but not to worry, because after it becomes yarn, it'll be washed, and anything that's in it will definitely be gone. So this is how I get it done. I'm happy to say that they did not draft all the character out of this yarn. That means that there's still some lumps and bumps in this fiber, which I happen to like. Generally, you can make a lot of mistakes disappear in the plying, so that's not a bad deal, I don't think. Especially if you like the yarn that you get after you finish plying. So my go-to weight, because everybody seems to have a favorite weight of yarn that they spin. My singles always happen to be on the thin side, because in the beginning when I first learned to spin, everything was fat, and I don't know who I listened to, but the goal was to try to get thin. My personal goal was to try to be able to spin stock yarn. That takes real talent that I don't have. So there will be no sock yarn spinning here. And my plies happen to always be thin, and today is no exception. As you can see, this is pretty thin. I would love it if I could get it a little thicker, and the way to do that is to just draft a little bit more out, pulling it forward. If I could pull out more consistently, then I would have the yarn that I want, fatter yarn. But clearly it's not happening this time. So this fiber is what it is. And that's today's post. See you when it's all done.